Okay, so I'm going to share with you how much work and time and effort goes into making custom models for me, from my aspect, because not everybody has the same skill set. So for others, this might be easier for them, but this is how hard it is for me to create custom models. Um, so what I've done here is I've taken a photograph of my daughter in competition. The photograph depicts movement. And so this is what I was able to come up with so far. And I'll show you the process of making this 3D printed model from a photo. So here's my process. And if you're someone who is skilled at making 3D custom models, and I'm doing something the hard way, and there's something way easier that can be done, please let me know in the comments the easier way to do these things because I'm relatively new at using design tools to customize models. All starts with a picture. Here's a picture that we decided to use. From here, we have to make an edit to the picture because the tools that I use to make the rendered 3D model, sometimes it has a hard time filtering out the background. So first thing I have to do is crop. When I'm done cropping, I then have to remove the background. Thankfully, my photo viewer on my PC already has a background remover on it. It's not perfect. If you see here, the blue section here is going to show up. The flag behind her is going to show up. Part of her belt here is missing. The part under her armpit is there. More flag. This person's face is attached to her elbow. This person's leg made it into the scene and her toes are cut off. So all of these little things, I then have to go through and either delete or add back in. So I turn on my brush tool and then I can start coloring over the parts that I want deleted. There we go. So that took me about 30 minutes to make all the edits. So now I have my reference photo and good old Chat GPT to the rescue. So I put my cleaned up photo, no background, in Chat GPT and I prompted it to change the expression on the girl's face to look more menacing. Make sure the background stays blank. And here's what that gave me. I'm pretty happy with this rendering. Upload it into Meshy. So in Meshy, right here, you can create an image to a 3D model. So I uploaded that picture here, and this is the first attempt that Meshy gave me. If you'll notice, there is an extra pole coming out of her arm. So then I re-prompted Meshy over here in the little prompt thing to take out the extra pole, and then it should be running across behind the model, behind the girl, and this is what it gave me. It gave me the pole still goes to her side, but now she has a ribbon coming out of her armpit and just kind of trailing off behind her. So that's That's the new rendering. And then I gave up and I was like, you know what? I think this is as good as it's going to get through Meshy. So then I have to import the STL that I downloaded from Meshy. Okay, so here's the original. Let's see if, where is it? There it is. Okay, oops. The controls in Meshy are different than the controls anywhere else. So here's the original 3D model, right? I want to get rid of the ribbon. So I have to go into edit mode. I think this is how I do it anyway. If there's an easier way to do it, again, if you're familiar with Blender, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just gonna roll with what I've stumbled upon, what I've found out from YouTubes and Googles. So every one of these little points in here is a vertice. And I can delete these, and I can the little gray shaded spots between vertices where it makes a little triangle, it's called a face, and the black line from vertice to vertice is called an edge. So I can actually delete these in bunches like this, right? And then just hit delete on my keyboard and say delete the vertices. That's on the side that's facing me. If you look, it deleted, and I have to figure out how to smooth it down and blend it in, right? So it's not just a clump of stuff sticking out of her side. Then for that, I go into sculpt mode, and I don't know if maybe I didn't delete enough vertices, maybe I deleted too many, I don't know, but down here is a bunch of sculpting tools, and each one gives you a little picture and a description if you hover over it, and it tells you exactly what the tool does. Up here, I can change how big the tool will cover, the radius of coverage, and then here, how strong it's gonna be. Like, so what's the impact? Let's just say for this one, we're gonna use this trim tool here to try to trim this up a little bit. And then I just, oops, hold on. Is it not strong enough? Maybe it's not strong enough. And then I kind of just drag my mouse over it, and it starts deforming it and moving it inwards towards the body of the model. So back over to edit mode, highlight these little, oh, I don't want the ones in the background. Gets a little tricky sometimes. The problem with deleting vertices is that it leaves like a gaping hole, and then you kind of have to pinch it all closed like, like dough. Okay, let's go back to sculpt mode. See what we're left with. Yeah, you see this hole, how you can see like right inside the body of the model. Then you have to kind of try to pinch that closed, which can become kind of a hassle. Can try to push it around with this tool. And then once I get it pinched far enough, I can try to smooth over it, flatten the stuff down, and just push it around a little bit. I still have some holes and some gaps. So might like try to add, which I think you can add vertices too if you needed to, or you can just keep pushing them around. If you go into edit mode, if you see like a clump of vertices like this, you can just pick them up and like move them. Oops, hold on. Move. All right, so if we took a vertice, we can actually pick it up and move it like this. And then we just keep doing that and stretching these ones so they're not so clumped up together. All right, so now it looks like I stitched the holes pretty well. Time to go and smooth them out. This took a long time, by the way. It did. Took me a while. All right, let's go look at the smoothing tools. So then I have to go down and fix the skirt as well because the ribbon at the bottom of the skirt was touching the skirt. So I had to delete all the vertices, and then it left me with a big gaping hole just like this armpit, and I have to not just smooth it out because this armpit area is a smooth area, but the skirt actually is has flow to it and texture, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but doable in the same respect. Um, Again, there might be an easier way to have done this, but this is how I know how to do it. The other thing is kind of sort of try and fix this hair because it's kind of bulgy. It's kind of blocky right here. So we can do that. And then when I want to export it, when I'm all happy with how it looks, I just go to object mode. You can see it's got a highlighted outline. You hit Control A on the keyboard and then click on All Transforms. This will lock in all of the changes that I've made and then export it. As an STL, I'm going to go ahead and put it wherever I want it and then give it a name and save it. I've already done that earlier, so that's what I started the video with was this here. This is how I finished the last time I was working on this in Blender, and then I gave it the little hair bun up here. The only thing I'm not happy with on this model is the eyes. I really wish it had some little defined eyes instead of smoothed over eye sockets. Okay, so I was able to give the model some defined eyes in there, so that was pretty cool. I definitely cheated. Yep, yep, I definitely cheated. I'll share with you my cheat code. I'm not proud. And then I'll also show you what Chat GPT said to do. So here's all the instructions that Chat GPT says you can do this stuff in Blender to make defined eyes. All right. So I tried it. It's hard. Um, After like an hour, I gave up and I decided to find a mini model that I own the commercial rights to for life. I have a lifetime commercial thing. So I took that model and I cut the eyes off right here using the cutting tool in the slicer. And then I exported this as an STL and then I merged it to her face. And then I went back into Blender and I smoothed out all the edges and stuff. So yeah, I cheated. Anyway, you're welcome if that suits your needs at all. If you need a tutorial on how to cut like this in the slicer, I have another video. I'll link it in the description. So the next video is going to be me demonstrating how to resin print this model on the new Anycubic P1. Stay tuned.